Welcome to Walking While Camping UK, and as you've seen from the thumbnail, today we are going to be discussing the 7 principles of leave no trace. Big one for me, that leave no trace. It's something I really believe in as someone who enjoys the outdoors. So stick with me and we're going to discuss the leave no trace principles. So the reasoning for this video is that I recently saw an article in CumbriaCrack.com, and it was about there in Cumbria over the bank holiday weekend. There'd been a lot of rubbish left out on the fells. So as you can see now, and as you've seen from the thumbnail, this is not acceptable. To leave this amount of rubbish and just stuff that isn't supposed to be in the environment, it's just not acceptable. And there are rules, guidelines to that sort of like outline what you should be doing out in the wild and in outdoor areas. So we're going to go through those today quickly, and just, you know, rather than berate people constantly, let's educate people a little bit of what should be expected if you're someone who wants to go out and use these beautiful outdoor spaces like our national parks. Just have some respect for them and follow these principles. So let's start with number 1, plan and prepare. So you need to plan where you're going, what walk you're going to be doing when you get there, if that's the activity you're doing, or wild camp, or, you know, anything, any activity you're doing out there, you need to plan ahead. So this includes the route you're going to take, the transport you're going to take, making sure you have a map and compass, and, you know, say you're wild camping, having a good idea of where you are going to pitch up on the night. You know, just a rough idea. It doesn't have to be the exact location, but, you know, you've planned that walk, you've got your route planned, you know there's a suitable location that you can pitch your tent up on, durable conditions, where you're not going to be causing much of an impact to the natural environment that's already there. So yeah, first of all is making sure you plan your route properly. And obviously part of plan and prepare is having everything that you need on you to make sure that you're not going to be getting into trouble. So pack for all weathers. Even today, 20 plus degrees here in the UK, in the northwest, but I'm only out in my local area, not far from my house. If I was out now in the Peak District or Lake District or one of the other national parks over in Wales or wherever, I would have my rucksack, I would have always waterproof pants, waterproof jacket, I'd have my down jacket, and if I'm wearing shorts I would always have long pants as well. I pack over the top for every eventuality. So I would also, as part of taking a map and compass, I would also take a GPS on my phone. I'd take battery pack, chargers for my phone, so if I get into any difficulties and I have to charge my phone, that is I'm able to do that. Another thing that I would recommend, if you do navigate with your mobile phone a lot, you need to have be able to find your location at all times. So just having the free version isn't always enough. I pay £22 a year for an app called Footpath, but I have all the maps downloaded. Then I can plan out my routes and I'm always on satellite. So no matter what happens, if I get my bearings wrong with my map and my compass, I can check my sat nav on my phone. I know exactly where I am all the time, and I've also got my battery pack, so I know that I'm never running out of power. So yeah, be prepared for everything. First aid kit in your backpack, enough water for your hike. I always take 2 litres of water as a bare minimum, a flask of coffee, black coffee as a hot drink, and another drink like a Lucasade or sports drink for, you know, the electrolytes and rehydrating. So Got to think smart, be prepared for absolutely everything if you're going into outdoor areas. So number 2, travel and camp on durable surfaces. Now, sounds a bit confusing that, doesn't it? But all it basically means is when you're walking or hiking in the outdoors, in our national parks, make sure you're using the trails and paths where you can that are already established, and you're not causing new corrosion in the area. And that's the same for camping. If you can camp on a firm piece of ground that's durable and you're making less of an impact to the environment, that is much, much better than going on, you know, say finding a place where there's some kind of shrubs and flowers, or somewhere where animals and livestock are going to need to be. That's their space and that's what they're using. With that, saying about livestock, animals and wildlife, what you've got to think about the animals and wildlife is they need access to water sources. So one of the principles of this were trails and durable surfaces to camp and walk on is try and keep your campsite 200 metres away from a water source, stream, lake or river, so allow access to the local wildlife. Those animals, you're not scaring them away from their water source that they need. So be considerate of that as well. So use the trails provided and just try to make the bare minimum impact on the environment when you're out in those wild spaces. So number 3 is dispose of your waste properly. So dispose of your waste properly. Everything you take with you, pack out, pack in. So if you can carry it out into the outdoors, you can carry it back. So there's ways of making this easier. Repackage foods. So if you've got, you know, something like that you've bought in a meal deal or whatever, and it's got 2 or 3 parts of the packaging, just take it out of that packaging and wrap it in cling film or tin foil, or put it in a plastic Ziploc bag and just take the one piece of rubbish with you. And then that Ziploc bag can be used as your little bin for all the other rubbish that you accumulate while you're out hiking. Or you do what I do and many other guys who are out here hiking and wild camping, and you pick a little bits of rubbish up while you're out on trail. If you're out wild camping for the evening, you've used your own, you made your own waste, from your food to your to your tea bags to your coffee, you know, all these little things that you've used, you're packing out with you and you're taking home. But if you see a little crisp packet or, you know, a chocolate wrapper, just pick it up. It takes 2 seconds. I mean, you can't pick every little piece of rubbish up your entire trip, but you'll have an amount that you can pick up. And if you're doing your little bit like that, it's going to make the world of difference. I mean, if everyone just took their own rubbish away, we wouldn't have to do that. But let's just do the responsible thing and try our best to just clean up as we go, take our own stuff, but also just pick 1 or 2 more items up as well. If you're on a long day hike or a wild camp or a multi-day camping session or hiking session, what you're going to think about as well, human waste. So if that might be, you know, let's call it number 1. So staying away from a water source when you go and use the toilet, you know, 200 metres again, going well off trail, so you're not going to be seen and you're not on the trail, you know, around animals and other people and stuff. Everybody needs to go to the toilet. So number 2, if you're going on a very long hikes and you think you're going to need the toilet, or you're going on multi-day backpacking trips or overnight backpacking trips, you need to have a way of disposing of human waste. So that if that's a trowel, I take a trowel with me and I take toilet paper. Some places want you to pack your toilet paper out with you. You dig a 6 to 8 inch deep cat hole, you do your business, and you fill it back in. You make sure you're well away 200 metres at minimum or further from any water source, and you're well away from any trail, as far away as you can get from the trail, sensibly and safely, and go somewhere where you think no one will interact with that space. And you know, that's the minimum. You've got to do that. Just be respectful of the environment, the people who are also using these outdoor spaces. And yeah, everybody poops, so just make sure you do it as discreetly as possible and with minimum effect on the environment. So number 4 is leave what you find. So this is when you're out on the trail, you're hiking or wild camping or having a day out in the wilderness or your local park, anywhere, you leave what you find. Don't pick wildflowers and take them home. Don't pick up rocks or animal bones or anything that you haven't took out with you. Don't take it back. You leave it in the environment that it's in. It's part of the ecosystem and it needs to stay there. It includes structures as well, so historical structures, stone walls or small stone buildings. Don't be taking or removing stones from those walls to build cairns or take home. You just leave everything as it is when you're out in the national parks, outdoor areas. It's leave no trace, abbreviated LNT. We don't take anything away. We leave everything where it is, and we have bare minimum effect on the local environment. So number 5, bare minimum impact for campfires. This is a massive one. Over here in the UK, in our national parks, Peak District, Lake Districts, Wales, wherever you are, in the summer months, when we get dry spells, those areas are susceptible to wildfires. Now, in my opinion, you do not need at any time to have a campfire. Now, people might go, oh, spoil sport, this, that. If you're wild camping, all you need is a small stove to cook the basic food for your wild camping. You can cook all kinds on a small gas stove or alcohol stove. So that is all you need. You don't need to be building campfires. Now, if that's the kind of thing you want to do, have a campfire, have music, have beers. There's other places for you to do that kind of thing, i.e. campsites that allow that kind of behaviour. Check with them before you go. Can we have a campfire? Is there places to have a campfire? Can we have music? Can we have beers? Stuff like that. Go to those places, music festivals and things like that, where that, if that's the kind of thing you want to do, that's not wild camping. Taking crates of beer, being in large groups, making a lot of noise, that isn't wild camping, and you don't need a fire. So, in my opinion, you don't need a fire. Now, I will put in the description below a link to the Leave No Trace guidelines, and it will give you stipulations and advice on building fires and stuff. You can have them off the ground, you can have burn boxes and stuff like that, so you can do it safely. But what I would say, that's more for me if you're bushcraft in the winter, or you're going out in the winter into the woods and you know that you're going to be in an area that has moisture, and there's ways of making fire, disposing of fire and leaving no trace. But for me, that has got to be in the winter. These are guidelines, and I'm not telling people what to do. I'm just asking people to try to think about what they're doing and be responsible. In the middle of summer, if I'm going to an area that I know has had issues with fires or is really dried out, I'll try to avoid even taking my stove, just in case I knock the stove over and something happens. So it's just about being respectful and safe at all times with fire, because it can absolutely destroy the environment out in the outdoors in our local national parks. So it's just got to be careful. So number 6 on the list is respect wildlife. So obviously in the outdoors and in the national parks and whatnot, we're going to come across a lot of wildlife not just livestock and farm animals, but you know, other wildlife in the areas that we go in, deer, horses, you know, birds, all this kind of thing. So what we want to do is be respectful of that wildlife. Don't interfere with the wildlife. Don't startle the wildlife. You know, if you're going through a field of sheep or a field of cows, you just go in, close the gates behind you, you go across and you get out. You don't try and stroke any of the animals. You don't try and interact with the animals, because this can be distressful for them, and you know, that can cause harm. So also another massive one is if you're taking your dog with you into the national parks, onto farmland, keep your dog on a lead. You know, especially when you're going through areas where you know there's going to be wildlife, there's going to be sheep or horses or cattle. You keep your dog on a lead, because your dog could react to a sheep. Even if your dog's brilliantly trained, there could be an instance where he reacts for some reason and hurts a sheep or hurts an animal. So when you're around animals, keep your dog on a lead. You know, it's part of being a responsible dog owner. I'm not saying the entire time your dog's out, if it's really well trained and has a brilliant bomb-proof, bulletproof recall, he's fine to go off the lead at times, but there is times where maybe you should put him on. You know what I mean? Get your dog on a lead and be respectful of the animals in the area. So if you see any injured animals, check before. Part of your planning will be checking the local authority and having a number with you to say, be able to phone and report anything while you're out to that national park. So if you see an injured animal, you can phone and get the correct response for that. You know, someone can go out and help deal with that animal. So yeah, be as respectful as possible of wildlife. So number 7 is be considerate of others, be respectful of others and other people using the areas that we're in. So when you're out in the national parks, hiking, walking, wild camping, whatever you're doing, be respectful of everyone else who's using that area. You know, keep the noise down, keep it to a minimum. You know, there's no need to play music when you're in these places. There's no need to be shouting, bawling. You can just relax, hike, talk between yourselves and enjoy nature, enjoy the noises of nature. You know, that's why we're out there doing this. So, you know, if you want to go out and play music and stuff like that, you know, there's other places you can go to probably that's going to suit you more than the national parks, the mountains, the fells. You know, you could go to a local park, set up in a corner, play some music, take your deck chairs, you know, and have a picnic and a few beers, and that's going to suit you a lot better. Like the photos we saw before, I'll show them here again now. For me, that's not being respectful of the area. It's not being respectful of other people. And, you know, it's not acceptable. And it shouldn't be happening. Those people have took all that equipment, all that distance, carried it God knows how far, and then left it there. Disgusting. So let's be respectful of other people. Let's be respectful of everyone that's using our national parks and outside areas. You know, that's number 7. So for me, leave no trace, LNT. When I finish my videos when I'm wild camping and I pack everything away and I put everything in a bin bag or a plastic bag and I take everything out with me, and I always say, make memories, not mess. You know, leave only footprints, take only photographs. There's no need to be having any impact on these areas when you're out walking, wild camping, hiking, you know, in the national parks. So from Walking Wild Camping UK, I didn't want to make this video and seem like I'm preaching at people of what to do, but these are guidelines. Leave no trace. If you love the outdoors, you love walking, wild camping, using the outdoors, seeing these amazing views in nature, please just do a little bit of research and respect these areas, and then they'll be there to enjoy for generations. And yeah, so that's me, Steve Moss, walking while camping UK. I'm going to leave this one here, and as always at the end of my videos, like I've just said, make memories, not mess, and I'll see you in the next one.